Time continued to flow in quiet stillness. Along the way, the phone's battery stopped at 97% for no clear reason. It was a tiny fluctuation, never meant to be recorded. Yet this program gathers only those small, meaningless shifts.
Today, I want to talk about how I was studying anti-space. People often say they feel embarrassed when someone looks at their bookshelf, and today's talk feels just like that, so I feel very embarrassed. But I've been talking about everything very openly for 2 years now, so I think I'll be fine. Before that, I think the idea of growing up as a fake picture to growing up as a lie, but people try to raise others, which is a waste of time. A sushi cook practiced for 10 years, but I heard about the local sushi shop. There's a 3-month course event where you can become independent. And 10 years is too long, so it's a waste of time. For sports player, though you can't really compare them. It's like being kept in the second team for years. It happened a lot with idols too. They already have enough power to now, but they are kept back under the name of raising them. So it's just a fake picture to think people grow 1 year or 2 years doesn't change anything, so it's wasted time. Now for the main topic, the anti-space roots and humans fake pictures. First, I quit my practice, and like I said, often I'm standing straight inside the empty space. I realize really that the empty space is the ultimate freedom. I use this example most rarely. It's like being in outer space when you drive an energy train and explode. I control that by not changing which main rules. Next, about relationship with fake pictures. Humans have 3 fake pictures, and the first is personal fake picture, like thinking you're a barrier that you're someone, but you don't even exist in the first place. Next is the time fake picture, like thinking you'll get a reward Sunday. Tomorrow I'll be better, or things are I'll work out when you do this. Hope, expectation, dreams, and goals, and even worry are all part of the time fake picture. Thinking something is absolute is also a fake picture, which is a logic fake picture. There's no absolute things, and that's career. And this is also a fake picture humans have. Next, it's a group fake picture, like drama, love home, believing you can trust a family, or thinking you can be happy with this person. I spent decades running away these fake pictures saying, I lack hope, to stop yourself from exploding under the vacuum pressure of outer space. You need a space suit. I didn't break because things have no meaning, and life has no meaning, and because I didn't break, I wasn't crushed by the vacuum pressure. It means I didn't think in in the empty space. It's a joke that I didn't think in the empty space because there's no meaning, but that's how it is. It's strange. Why do I not run away to a rescue when I roast my stories? Why do I not become wild? Well, everything has no meaning. It's strange, and why can I execute my rules? The empty space is my safely line. The empty space means things have no meaning. Being sure there is my safety line, so it's also something that moves me toward this direction. That's paradox and all, but a life that doesn't look for rescue, and the paradox of the empty space. I realized lately that people who run away to other religion, spiritual things, or other rescued, or who become wild, are still expecting something. I didn't run away to those rescue, and I didn't run away to outside rescue like cigarette or alcohol. Either to be exact, I just don't have the ability to run away. People trying to fill their empty space, not by their own will, but with a routine made by addiction, like cigarette, alcohol, or gambling. I can understand how that does people feel, though humans don't want to face fact. People who look for rescue or who sometimes get hopeless and respect that are fine, but it doesn't solve things. Fundamentally, they aren't facing the fact that the world has no meaning, trying to solve things temporarily with a cigarette or running away. The rescue won't be a fundamental solution. You have to look straight at the fact that nothing is there. Getting used to it is the only fundamental solution. But most people can't do it. They can't do it, and they don't need to. Most people have the ability to live without looking straight at the empty space. I'm in a touch spot because I can't go to a rescue. I can't become wild, and I can't even break. I said the empty space is freedom, but freedom and not being free are two sides of the space coin. From here, it's like that real main topic not changing and then denying relationships rhyme doing feels like a deeper concept than just an empty space. I make all kind of rules and routine to not change. Not changing means cutting off the from time like the future and the past. The wording might be a bit wrong, but it means becoming isolated in my ways, but rarely humans live inside relationship with everything. Buddha said this, and physics makes it clear too. Everything is made of relationship. People might mistake this as meaning everyone is connected, but things don't have a real body or essence. For example, what am I? What am I? Yeah. And a relationship with a song, I can be defined as a further things that are made of relationship. The moment you take relationships away, it becomes something very abstract. It's becomes something that is not the human or living things are heightened concept, which means nothingness in Buddhist, but humans don't think there are nothingness or just object while living daily life. They are made of a relationship. So my attempt is to cut these things off. Not changing means that this is what Buddha's call no self. Everything doesn't exist on its own. What exists inside a relationship, what I'm doing is trying to fight that, cutting off the relationship with the future in a time sense. That's why I said I don't make stories, right? Thinking I'm here now because of who I was back then, or who I do this now. I can become like this in the future, or I became like this thanks to that, or I can be happy. And here, cutting the stories means cutting the connection with the future and the past, but that I wouldn't do something like fighting Buddha's no self. So I realized monks get up same time every day and said the same food. They are doing the same thing as me. Actually, I noticed this more than 10 years ago since I became nihilist. Nihilistic means the empty space, but the dimension nothingness that Buddha talk about the wording is too beautiful. The dimension and enlightenment, I don't reach that for, of course, but at least my life and my way of thinking are the same as a monk. I thought it was strange. I thought I feel in a dark place, but instead I might be moving toward enlightenment. I don't aim for enlightenment at all, and I don't think Buddha meant it in such a high way anyway. He was just stating a fact. I can really feel for him in a sense that he didn't aim for rescue. That's fine, but I don't mean to practice well, and I just ended up this way to not root to the empty space and to not get broken by it. That means the empty space comes from and the inside. The world is always changing, so things change and grow in it. Me to not lose the pressure from the outside and the pressure from the inside. I think I made those rules. Monks do the same things, but talk about being flexible, though it might sound like a religion story. He didn't say shaking is important, but being flexible. But monks make from like a routine that why they're fighting, so they don't get crushed by things flowing from around them and by change. And next, I'll talk about my crazy part and the question why we live comes up to. This is like after effect in my practice. It's not that teachings won't leave me or that I have regret. It's an empty feeling that comes preciously. I have regret. It's an empty feeling that comes preciously because I swallowed the ideal meaning. But having empty feelings itself is not a problem for me because I did the practice. I can face today's empty space, and if you don't also meaning. First, you can't face the empty space. Like you have to go outside. Want to know the good part of your hometown. The question why we live comes up, but the moment it comes out, I beat it down with physical action called routine. So I live inside the empty space, but I'm not turning my back on it. I usually make the first move so I don't get swallowed by the empty space. Monks probably do the same. They make the first move so they don't get swallowed by desires. Also, this is a bit off topic, but it becomes a habit of not letting emotion clearly your way anti feelings that ask what the meaning is takes away your energy fighting that and doing the opposite action, doing the opposite your emotion was my motto, and I was doing it in daily life without nothing. I also doing action with energy while thinking while am I doing this as a contradiction to humans are full of contradiction to this spirit tolerance against saying two different things. I think freedom is a philosophical question that is neither good nor bad, and there's no answer for me. Freedom is not risky but scary vacuum that moves you toward this direction. That why I need to make the rules for myself. Some people make perfect plans where they trouble it's close to that mind, but what I'm doing is putting that on life itself. Also, I use discomfort as use fuel. I think comfort is a brain bag. It's a chance to be sure that I'm alive, meaning I'm not melted and in the universe. Also, I keep to going, but the world keep going is probably wrong. I've been pushing down the distraction, getting followed by the daily empty space. I'm not that a huge energy is coming out, but it's energy just standing straight. Doing it with drive means your driving story. Also, it's proven that nothing can be perfect. That most people in the world think there is no absolute things and they can become perfect. They think this person is perfect. The religious reader is perfect. God is there. People who are tired of thinking make up perfect things because they're worn out. Humans are creature that looks for perfection, and so it can't be helped. But I can't run away to that risky world, knowing that we are weak creatures, and that absolute things is just a fake picture. I don't even wanna. But even if I think how it is to be, if I could, I can't. That's because I had a reflex rejection since my religion that I always adapt, and I never believed blindly. I was serious, but I was never saved error next people in the world live because there is a meaning to real life. They probably have that awareness, but if doubt comes up about whether there really is a meaning to life, can they not live? They still live, and anyway, suddenly the meaning of the life is a fake picture. So the meaning of the life is a support for people to live as a fiction for saying alive, but every place in the world with its own meaning of life. So it's not universe things, but just something for yourself. Really, there's no meaning to life. There is no meaning to life. Does it mean you don't have to live, or that you want to live? Other animals are living, so even if humans get a doubt about whether there is a meaning to life, or even if they realize there is no meaning to life, and they are living, and that's why this species states humans have been going on for millions of years, really living things have a longer history of hundreds of million years. This itself is a mystic thinking. You can live useless, you feel a meaning to live. Life is a story. Having a meaning to life is not the reason to live. So some people say you don't have to live. There's no meaning to life. But you can live preciously because there's no meaning to life. It's hard for me to make stories nature, so I don't like that kind of thing much. Most Japanese people don't understand the meaning of that thing about the horse. Suddenly, it's frustrating, but they don't get it. If the good things happen and bad things happen, and you think it was a bad things, it turned out to be a good things in the end. So stories are just humans' varied judgment in which are stories to you can't say it's a good or bad. When you look back on life, you can only make a judgment good or bad after the fact. I'm bad at that, and I don't have that function in the first place. I never got a rescue like thinking things will go well if I believe in this. That's because many problems like perfectionism, even if I think I'll be saved if I do this or believe this, I notice the contradiction where two different things are said. Anyway, I just can't be saved without reason. But there is no route to becoming wild either. Now I'm crossing the exit with my own will from despair is like that, and becoming wild or running away to pressure like cigarette is a route I didn't make. Disappear and the foul feeling have the same effect, and the opposite is discomfort. I use discomfort as you feel discomfort and the rules. Discomfort comes out from the nature of animals. You might get hit by empty feelings, but I'm fitting it. So I put the product energy preciously when discomfort comes out. I talk about standing in outer space area. In empty space, there is no oxygen, and there is no meaning, and there is nothing necessary for living. If you neglect your roots and just stay there, you'll explode from the vacuum pressure. The empty space is a safety line, and it's connected to distraction. But roots are a safety line too. Roots make you not free, though. Sometimes people call it obsessive comp- comp- compulsive disorder or compulsive behavior, or they might say it's secretly or that I care too much or I'm touched even for me. I worry about how the future will be because roots though it's fine now, but I can protected by this because I can't get out that empty space next during my religion days. The empty space was something to with meaning. Meaning it was something to fill with meaning. Roots were given by the religion. After I quit, like I've been saying, because I threw away meaning and because I'm sure I won't put meaning. The rules can work with 10% purity because there are roots. I can live inside the empty space who you are perfectionist or look for meaning too much. The rules break and you can't live inside the empty space. It's strange, but it's as products were two different things were worked together. It states that there is not perfectionism is an empty space in the first place, but you need roots to live in that empty space. It's a strange paradox. Having the roots means you can't say you'll take a break today because you're tired. Whether that's good or bad is a separate things. But what matters is whether you can do it or not. I can do it for me for now, but I don't know if I can do it when I get old. Also, it's like wearing a space suit, so my body creaks and it's hard. I think keeping things going the hardest thing in life. Sometimes I feel like I'm in prison because I stay home around the time too. It's a third product, but you need both words of that empty space and root. Neither can be missing, which is a strange story living in a root abiding way outside. That empty space is a strange story in itself, and they support each other, which sound like a strange story too. If there were only the empty space, it would be more. It's a move toward this direction. If there were only roots, it would move toward this direction. The problem, both sides link together, and that's how I live. It sounds like math, but the question what we live or is almost gone. So I would say it's completely gone if you keep standing inside the empty space. Even that a question disappears that why I can execute my rules without my or any fight inside. This nuance is very hard, but if you doubt by even time, you can't live this life because you live this life, the doubt doesn't come up. So it's state living doubt. Doubt is scary for humans to root the effect of rooting doubt to. So I don't even get that get thought of wanting to run away. The moment that's happened, it'll be this disaster. The moment anti feelings come out, it's the end for me, and that's why I make sure anti feelings doesn't come out. I make sure it doesn't come out at all. I'll talk about this detail later. In religion, it's a pressure like hell. Like I said, meaning flows in me constantly. After I quit, I built my own specific suit of life from there. It's, by stripping away brainwashing and stories, the paradox of life and the empty space was made. Like I said, I don't get swallowed by the empty space because I know I shouldn't give up. It's a single second error. Also, I don't feel living is hard error. Feeling living is hard comes from having expectation or hope. I don't even have a feeling of being alive in the first place when even a feeling of being alive. I think that makes up a story. Other animals don't have feelings of being alive. Since I am alive, it's better for me to lose those things as much as possible or it moves toward this direction. It's not that it becomes a rescue, but a single second of gap moves me towards this direction. Also, when people's mind break, they usually recover. But if my mind breaks, I can't recover. It's strange. You push things away, but in the wrong run, it makes me like it will break in the worst way. Maybe the function breaking is gone. Or I'm using a lot of tricks, and other parts are also perfectionist as a safety line to shoring my mind never breaks is supported by perfectionist. If I change easily, like loosening and perfectionist a bit, or if I change even a little bit, and all my mental behavior it might move towards this direction. But even if people think there's no meaning, they get a habit and end up looking for meaning or feeling about meaning. And I have I strip it away quickly every time. Also, I think living itself is a concept made by humans because I strip that away because I don't make stories, because I keep looking at the empty space. I have many hard things, but I don't often feel living is hard. I fix everything tightly abnormal way. So I wonder if I'm fighting against self. I have that strange attachment, but it can't be helped if even even if it critical suffering, it can't be helped. Saying it can't be helped sound like giving up, but exactly what it is, and this is important. Giving up, like I said, not changing is like because the world is always moving, other change, and trends and values change for you much that your mental balance breaks. Also, there are changes and whether body condition if you give up, it's a gap brain back like expectation or hope happen, and that happen to, and I end up with regret and also change means the progress of a story from the past to the future. There's a time change to things change because time goes on. So throwing away a story equal living a same single second away living the present. I even think that word anti-space is just a concept, and I don't like defining the things that are having assumption. If you leave things around them and change, and you should give it a single second a gap and changing word. So I push it away. That's routine and putting that more essential meaning. I care about not changing, but I can't express it in words. Not changing in the sensory things. If you say not changing, some people will say change. They will say changing is important to not change, and they say twisted things. So I don't wanna use the expression not changing much. I accept that things are always changing. It's a monk that, and I fix my daily life with strict rules on purpose. This sounds like saying two different things, but it makes sense no matter how things for me anti feelings for get up set time with set from meaning if their form and their brain won't get messed up, and therefore people might call it not getting carried away by desires. Also, I thought it was a route not to not get swallowed by the empty space, but it was also to not get swallowed by the muddy robe changing from around. We also you realize that any heart thinks it's just friction. You don't get swallowed by people much anymore. Also, in a time sense, you realize that anxiety about the future is just a story you made up, but it's strange. If the feeling of being alive disappears and you reach the point you want to feel, living is hard, even if you have hard things, but it's different from just living in the moment without thinking about the future or the past. Why do you go back to the connection, relationship, past and future? I'll talk about the connection, past and future earlier. Erasing stories in the end that it mean loneliness or isolation that wording might cause misunderstanding, but it creates isolation in a good way. Erasing relationship where that's not changing and not moving are important. To sum up, enlightenment means fighting are important. To sum up, environment means fighting against a change even a single second. So they're always changing in the mind. That it means stories, what I call stories, are desires come to think of it. The empty space is a desire to I wonder what that's about, but accepting change means being flexible but monk through a calm life with strict rules and don't change. This looks like contradiction. And also, I think the habit of fighting the emotion of the empty springs with roots, I said earlier, but humans can live they have a fake picture that life has meaning. They can live without it to, but they're helped by that fake pictures. It means humans are creatures that get tricked and saved. Marrying this person make things work out, but that fake picture turns in a terrible disappointment later. To add to that, humans shake violently inside the relationship and sorry past regret and future expectations. They can't keep a calm mind, so I use the form of not changing the form of life to cut it off and not move towards this direction. I don't mean to do such a noble things also always is impossible. Also doing an action when there is no meaning is a contradiction. For example, during marriage, I think I just need to get a neutralization, but to not get swallowed by the brain wag of empty feeling, emotion, which is a desire. Like I said, I make it first move. I put out energy from rules action. When I'm about to get swallowed by the empty space, I put out energy, and I have an image of making the first move. Before that, but actually monks were doing the same things. It's real to, like I said, the dog, bird, and insect that don't think about the meaning to life at all, but they live normally, and if it's not met, they make a bag. That living is hard, but it's never true that humans can't live without pictures, but meaning to life. Even without a meaning, the body exists here, the heart is moving, and your breathing. I've lived with this fact for more than 10 years, just like animals live and simply I was working as a bear life to